Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I'm going to be going over how to defeat the Crucible Knight. Going quickly over the setup, we are going to want a weapon that has a high amount of crit on it. Obviously, you're going to find these, generally speaking, in daggers. There's a dagger that you can find in the Stormveil Castle. We're not at that point yet. It does have 140 critical. We're going with the Lordshorn's Straight Sword, which has 110 critical. We will also be using the Blue Crest Heater Shield. This is going to be pretty instrumental. You're going to want this shield, or realistically any other shield that has the parry skill on it. We will also be using the Finger Seal to do some emergency healing if needed, standard Confessor outfit from the beginning of the game, and the Assassin's Crimson Dagger. If you watched yesterday's episode, you'll know that you can get this in the Death-Touched Catacombs. This is going to be very instrumental because critical hits restore hit points, and every attack that we do against this boss is going to be a critical hit. So I'm going to leave this as the intro. Obviously, let me show you where it's at. It's going to be located right here on the Stormhill Evergoal. Obviously, once you get Torrent, you're going to go up through here, curl back, and you can go to the Stormhill Evergoal over here. Go ahead and examine it, and it'll ask you if you want to enter the Evergoal. Hit yes. And this right here, I'm going to make a little cut because I know I'm going to die to this boss a whole bunch of times, and I'm just going to record it and then do a voiceover on it later. So this is actually the attempt that I beat the Crucible Knight on this account. It's not a good attempt, or not really a perfect attempt. As you can see, like it starts off pretty rough with a couple of mistakes. One thing I do want to mention, though, is that if you have the Buckler parry, if you start as the Bandit class, you do have the Buckler as your offhand armament, your shield, and it has a more generous parry window, or at least a better parry window, in my opinion. There are a couple different moves that can be parried. The first one is actually going to be coming up here pretty shortly. I'm going to be playing it in slow-mo so you guys can kind of see. I'm going to do that twice. So here it is. We slowed it down just a little bit, and what you're looking for is the slash attack, and then as soon as he starts moving forward, you drop your parry on him. From there you can actually get, and you can see how much up in the top left corner, how much the Assassin's Dagger actually heals. I'll put a caption up on it later to draw more attention to it. There are a couple moves that actually can be parried with this guy. The first is going to be the thrusting attack, because realistically you're looking at two main attacks that he has. The one that we're looking for in this video is the sweeping attack, and then there's the thrusting attack. Excuse me. Both of those are actually going to be pretty easy to parry, but for this, I find this slash beat to be way easier. This right here is going to be our, it's going to be a late parry attempt, actually. So you can see he's already started his momentum forward when we try for it. It does give you reduced damage. You don't take the full set, at least that's from what I've seen. You don't take the full damage. But you do still take damage, and a pretty good amount of stamina damage as well. We're going to lure him back a little bit and show you guys a parry out in the open. Because the first one was kind of blocked by the bush. And this is going to be the last slow motion parry in the video. Right here you can see he's at full length. He starts to move forward, and we're already starting our parry animation. The timing is very tricky, so the difficulty of this boss realistically lies in how well of a parry expert you are. If parrying is second nature to you, then this boss is going to be incredibly simple. But parrying, in my opinion, is going to be one of the more advanced techniques in this game. It's definitely one of the ones I struggle with the most. So that made this boss fight quite difficult. And there were several times I would come in and get hit, destroyed in like 2 hits. One more move, and I believe that he's going to do it here shortly, that I want to mention, and I'll draw attention to it as well later if I see it. But it's, if he goes to, if he brings his sword over to where he has his shield on his back and he's two-handing his sword, that right there is the perfect opportunity to heal. Because he always starts off with stomping the ground and then slashing his weapon down onto the ground. If he hits you with either one of those and you're close enough, I want to say he also goes into a sweep attack. It's different from that stomp that you guys just saw. He has 2 stomps. One, he two-hands his weapon. The other one, he still has his shield in front of him. If he two-hands his weapon, like I said, perfect time to drop back, drink some tears, or do the emergency heal if you're using the Confessor class like I am here. here shortly we get him down to about half health, and this is another fight that adapts the lower his health gets. I think a lot of fights in this game are actually like that. So it should be after this move. This will get him down to roughly half health. And you'll see right there, he does his little glow attack. He does his angel wings and then his thrust. You want to wait for him to like basically reach or make contact with the ground. The timing obviously is going to be based on how close you are to him. But you don't want to roll too early. It does have a little bit of tracking and it will hit you. And it actually does a good amount of damage. This actually gets easier and gives you longer heal windows the longer the fight goes on. Because that the tail attack that you guys just saw, he'll actually start to do after his angel wings striking attack. And that is another good opportunity for a heal, depending on your distance from him. And I'll show that to decent effect, I would say. Coming up. Obviously, like we stated at the beginning, the higher your crit is, the faster this fight's going to go, as well as upgrading your weapons. We're still using, I want to say like a straight sword 2? No, straight sword 1 maybe? The one-handed stomp attack that he does, if he does have his weapon in one hand and his shield in the other, he does the stomp attack. If you get hit by that, it's definitely not the worst thing in the world, because the timing, from what I've seen, it is pretty generous. And the reason that I went for that counter, or that parry, was because the timing, whenever he does the stomp attack, he does the single-handed stomp attack, and he follows it up with one of two moves. And it's either the slash or the thrust, both of which are parryable. And like I said, the timing is actually pretty much the same with both of those. Pretty similar. So if you can punish one, you can definitely punish the other. Obviously, give it a little bit of practice. With his health at this level, we're going to see that he's going to start modifying the moves that he does after this move right here. So he does that, and then he'll do single tail attack and then double tail attack. Whenever you get him down to 1 or 2 parries past, again, this depends on how much level. Jester, get offline, Popeye. But the amount of damage that he does, or the amount of damage that you do, is going to dictate how fast this progresses. But he will start off by just doing the angel wings attack and then 1 sweeping tail attack. The lower you get him, he'll do 2 sweeping tail attacks, which are actually pretty easy to avoid. I think I do actually eat, or maybe I already ate the last attack that he did. And it actually does a good amount of damage as well. So you want to make sure you're stepping back from that as much as possible. And again, if you can just hold B, run straight backwards, and use that as an opportunity to heal. Which I think I show... not after this one, not long. Soon. So that does show that you can use it for the urgent heal, which is actually slower than your tiers. And that wasn't even like the most beneficial time to do it. The most optimal time to do it, I guess would be a better way to say it. As you can see with that one, he doesn't always follow it up with the devil tail, but it is pretty consistent that he does. That right there is the window to heal. That's the 2-handed stomp attack I was talking about. And there it is again. Then you can see we actually do the urgent heal here. It's not always safe to do so, but I've found it to be a good window of opportunity. Right here we roll forward to close distance. You want to stay at about a medium close distance, which you guys can probably already tell, in order to make sure that you bait out that attack and you're close enough to actually punish it. This was probably attempt at least 50 on this guy, give or take. And you guys will see whenever he gets pretty low, we almost mess it up. This is going to go back to what I said in the first video of Elden Ring, and that is just don't get greedy in Dark Souls, Elden Ring, Sekiro, Bloodborne games. Because again, at this point I had been working on this for probably 2 hours, and I almost throw it all away. You guys will see exactly what I'm talking about when it gets super low. This bush is kind of inconvenient just because it does kind of mask his attacks, so you're not always sure what he's doing. Again, watch your timing on that roll because it is a little bit of a delay on the second one, so don't just automatically double roll. That was fishing. Right here, I'm starting to panic just a little bit, but he does give me the healing window with that attack. You can see that I already switched to the urgent heal, and then just immediately hold your B button and run backwards, and you can drop your heal. That puts us to full health, but we are down to only 1 cerulean flask left, no crimson. Which actually makes the what I do here in a second actually a lot dumber. Healing there is a bit risky just because he's not stuck in an animation. I believe it's this parry attempt where I just get incredibly greedy because I see how low his health is, and we did 152 and took off a good chunk, so I just start going for it. I take damage there, I take damage there. That could have been a run ender. And again, I do a thrusting attack. Highly not recommended. But then that one is actually decently punishable if he is incredibly low health, if you know he's one shot. Anyways, I'm going to stop doing some narration. We'll go straight to the outro. All right. So that fight took a lot more attempts than I actually care to admit. As we can see, that enemy is worth 2,100 runes for the game. And then if we look at the miracle that we got the aspects of the Crucible tail. It says, creates supple tail to sweep the area before the caster. Does require 27 faith to do. And then for the actual text, it says, one of the ancient Erdtree incantation creates a supple tail that sweeps through foes before the caster. Charging enhances potency. This is a manifestation of the Erdtree's primal vital energies, an aspect of the primordial crucible where all life was once blended together. That's basically going to be it for the video. Hope you guys did enjoy. The main things, obviously, like I said, go ahead and once you learn to parry, this fight will be easy. And don't get greedy like you saw me do at the end.